Have you ever thought what it would be like to live in a post-apocalyptic world? I've always thought about that, and whether or not I would be able to survive, I think I would be able to survive depending on what kind of post-apocalyptic world we're living in. So I just think it'd be very interesting to see how I would live in that world. Hello everybody, this is That Manga Dude, and welcome to another essay video. Today I'm going to be talking about, well, as you can tell by the video, the video title, I'm going to be talking about a very specific series that means a lot to me, and that tackles a very specific feeling that I've never really felt in a manga before. I'll talk more about that in the actual video, but I just wanted to do this cold open for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started right now. Catastrophes and apocalyptic events are some of the most common narrative tropes that are used across so many different genres, ranging from serious dramas to more lighthearted affairs. Whether it's the intense gang warfare in series like Akira and Mad Max to the sillier zombie outbreaks seen in Zom 100 or Shaun of the Dead, these stories have been seen across multiple generations of entertainment with varying degrees of popularity and success. There's been a small section of manga that I've been reading recently that depicts a quieter apocalypse. Post-apocalyptic stories that focus more on the strange but often serene moments brought about from the aftermath and in some cases subsequent rebuilding of society. Touring After the Apocalypse and Girls' Last Tour, for example, use these unprecedented events as the backbone that allows these characters to explore and road trip around their worlds. Their stories also feature several doses of existentialism, with their characters thinking about their role in this new world and the struggles they will continue to face. There is one other series that comes to mind that features deep and complex existential moments intertwined with lighthearted and calmer moments to create this odd but absolutely fascinating feeling of somber tranquility that I've never felt before. It's an intriguing story that I think anyone can enjoy, regardless of your taste in media. That series is Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou. Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou was created by Hitoshi Ashinano and originally debuted in June 1994 in Kodansha's seinen magazine Monthly Afternoon. The series ran for over 10 years, officially ending its run in February 2006, with 14 volumes released for the series. It always appeared to have a cult following here in the US, and Seven Seas came out of nowhere and licensed the series in English back in February 2022. The series officially completed its English release in August of 2024 with 5 omnibus volumes. To give a quick synopsis for those who haven't read it, the story follows an android named Alpha. She runs a coffee shop in a small community that has sprouted up after an apocalyptic event has struck Japan and caused much of the country to be flooded and be reclaimed by nature. We get to see the daily lives of Alpha and the people that she meets in this dilapidated world. So before we get started with this video, I just want to note that this video will contain spoilers for various parts of the story, so if you have not read this series and want to, I'd say check it out before watching it. Before I discuss how the series encompasses somber tranquility, I feel that I need to discuss the subgenre known as iyashike, which is a slice-of-life series that tends to feature characters living in simple, easy lives in peaceful, calming environments. Series within this genre are meant to provide a sense of peace and healing while reading the series, which I feel describes YKK to a T, but maybe not in the way that most people would think, especially considering that other series within this subgenre, like K-On! And Yotsuba, are more lighthearted series in comparison. Let's get into it. Now, what do I mean when I say somber tranquility? In my head, I classify this feeling as a slight feeling of dread mixed with the understanding that life is difficult and we must continue living and enjoying what we have before it's gone. The characters that we follow in the story all have come to the conclusion that their existence is doomed, so they continue to enjoy what time they have on Earth before they leave. Existentialism is explored by just about every character in the story, and it's interesting to see the different perspectives from characters of different ages and backgrounds, from the children and the older generation to the androids that are the focus of the story. One of these moments is right at the beginning of the story. Oji-san, one of the older characters we meet, watches as Alpha, the main character, plays the gekin, an instrument that she learned to play from her owner. As she plays her piece, the grandpa's thoughts are provided to us, surprised by the music she plays feeling human even if she isn't. The androids have become just as human as humans themselves, which places the question of whether these androids can also feel sadness and loss. In Chapter 4, we see that the androids do have various emotions like humans. Alpha is struck by lightning while traveling and is taken to the local doctor, who helps fix her up and applies new skin coating since it was burned. After the doctor lets her know that everything will be okay, tears begin to well in her eyes. Alpha comments that her tear ducts were only for moistening her eyes, but she compares these emotions to when she plays the Gikken. We receive confirmation that her android model is basically human, meaning that she may have the same feelings of acceptance of the inevitable, a world completely absorbed by the consistent rising of the water. We also see the human characters go through various moments of deep thought and clarity about their situation. One great example also happens within the first volume. In Chapter 5, Alpha is invited to drink and hang out with the adults of the community she lives in. After offering her a drink, she becomes inebriated almost immediately. The adults begin to goad her to do random things until she breaks out into an interpretive dance. The people are mesmerized, with the narrator commenting how they couldn't tell how much time was passing by, but it didn't matter since they were all in the moment with Alpha. These adults find some level of normalcy from watching this android do a dance they don't even understand, even with the world as it is. They receive a brief reprieve from the quiet chaos of their ever-changing and crumbling world. I think what makes Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou such a fascinating read is not only is the somber tranquility felt by the characters, but it is also intertwined with the way the series is presented as a whole. There are quite a few chapters in the series where there's little to no dialogue, and we are left with the beautiful art of Hitoshi Ashinano, a loose but confident art style that portrays the quiet moments perfectly. You can feel the exact emotions of the characters while also feeling those same emotions in yourself. We feel just as important to this story as the characters of the story. Chapter 120 is a perfect example of this. Alpha has just gone shopping and decides to go north, where she overlooks the city of Yokosuka, a former city that is completely underwater. We get to see Alpha's inner monologue as she discusses how the name of the city has disappeared along with the city itself, leaving her contemplative on how quickly things as important as cities can disappear from the collective consciousness as time continues forward. Alpha then sits and remains quiet for a few panels before beginning humming or singing. What exactly she is singing is inconsequential, but we can see that her act of singing is a way of her showing remembrance for the city and the memories she had made there with her owner. While she is sad that she can't experience that moment again, she chooses to remember it as a happy memory that she will carry with herself forever, as evidenced by the smile towards the end of the chapter as she proceeds to head home. The art speaks volumes throughout this sequence, intermixing the gorgeous yet destroyed landscape and the various close-ups of Alpha, whose facial expressions tell you exactly how she is feeling this entire time. It's such a beautiful, tender moment that shows how Alpha is also becoming one with the people around her, understanding that her time here is limited, and while the idea that many of these wonderful memories cannot be relived is difficult to swallow, it is better to relish in them, rather than think about what if. I think what's really beautiful specifically about this entire sequence is we get to feel this emotion so strongly. While I was reading through this, I started to get a little bit teared up, not gonna lie. And I don't even live or experience these kinds of things. I've never lived in this city, I've never been to Japan, but I think the way that Ashinano has created this beautiful piece of work, beautiful piece of art that allows you to feel so many different emotions while reading is just a remarkable piece. I love it so much. Lasting memories play a huge part in instilling this sad but peaceful feeling in the reader. Near the beginning of the story, Alpha receives a camera from her owner from another robot named Kokone. She is told that the camera has a limit to the amount of photos that can be taken, which makes Alpha nervous about wasting any photos. Alpha soon begins using her camera to often capture the little memories so that she can always look back at them. She knows that taking these photos of what some would consider nothing is better than not taking them at all. Her initial hesitance to take photos to not waste them is extremely similar to how humans are. We often worry too often about wasting time, energy, money, because we don't know what the outcome might be. But like Alpha learns, and what we can learn, is that creating memories and enjoying life is better than never taking that leap, never trying something new. Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou is so good at creating a sense of comfort and promotes healing through its themes of living in the moment and doing what you love and enjoy. That is what makes Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou such a special series for so many people. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. You know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things, and I really appreciate it when you guys do that. I hope you've been enjoying these essay videos. They are a lot of work to do, and as much as I don't like editing, it sure is really fun to have a finished product that looks as good as it does after I'm done. So thank you all so much for supporting this video and for supporting the previous one. I'll put that up in the links now if you want to go check out my first essay video, which is all about Shima Shinya and their amazing art and work from Lost Lad London to Glitch. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.